Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Riccardo, the Roleplay Gamer, and I like to party. Welcome to Dauntless. The best way for me to describe this game is, I think, Monster Hunter LITE, and that may not be totally fair to the game, to Dauntless, but, you know, it is. That's the way I see it, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Don't take LITE as meaning worst version of Monster Hunter. It certainly is very Monster Hunter-y, but it's different. I feel it's a quicker, more arcadey, casual sort of experience, which again, you know, does sometimes hold a stigma of being a worse version, but I don't think it is. The beauty of this over Monster Hunter, in my opinion, is the immediacy of the action. You can jump into a hunt and you're good to go. You're quick, and the earlier hunts can take 5 minutes. They can be really quick, but they actually feel like they're longer. Now, I'm not going to go to our target right away. I'm going to explore a little bit, maybe grab some resources and whatnot. So before we get into, you know, talking about the game as a whole, that whole situation, a couple of disclaimers. I have received the game for free from the developers. It's currently in a closed beta sort of state with an option to buy in, I believe. So I have not bought in. I've received a key code, whatever you want to call it, from the developers. Also, I'm going to compare it a lot to Monster Hunter. I think for obvious reasons. I love Monster Hunter, but I haven't played any of the most recent ones. That's just because I'm not the kind of person to buy a console just to play one game. For multiple reasons that we don't need to get into. So there you go. All right, so what are you doing here? You got your little dude. You got your hunter or slayer, they call them in Dauntless. And you got this hub world that I'll hopefully show you at the end of this hunt. I didn't want to start off there so we could avoid load times, but load times aren't too bad. So you start off in the hub world where you can talk to people. You got this sort of tutorial quest system, just sort of like guides you around that area, and then you go to a notice board and you pick a hunt. And I actually really like that mechanic of going to the notice board or the quest board or job board or whatever you want to call it. You basically click the monster you want to hunt, the monster you want to kill, and that's it. And it either throws you into a multiplayer, you know, into a group with other players if they are available, or you go solo. I've just gone solo here for the sake of having a controlled experience, and also, look, in a closed beta state, and being in Australia, it's not always easy to find people to play with. Make no mistake. But on the occasions that I have played with others, it feels pretty good. You know, there's not a lot of, I suppose, what am I trying to say? Opportunities for coordination, but it's nice to at least have someone there with you. But playing solo is pretty cool too, because you sort of have the freedom to explore and without, you know, the pressure of being like, oh shit, you know, is my partner going to rush in and get himself killed or something, or aggro the monster, or behemoth as they're called, you know, before I'm ready and that sort of thing. So before we, you know, jump in to take out the Shrike over there, who's basically an owlbear, which is pretty cool, we're just going to take out some of these little guys here, and we're going to talk about what's good and what's bad about the game. So we'll start off with what's bad, and you need to keep in mind that this is early access, and it feels quite early. The combat, for the most part, I think is one of the best parts. It's one of the more polished parts, but as you may be able to see, the UI, in my opinion, is very early and very clunky. So the game should support. So I've just hacked at some dudes here and gotten some stuff, so, you know, sort of very Monster Hunter-y there. The only thing is they don't seem to die. You whack them and they drop something, and then I don't know if that's intentional or what, I don't know. The big behemoths do die when you damage them enough, and that's the whole point. We're meant to kill them, and then you get drops, you get little bits from them, and you can use it to make armor and weapons and whatnot. So the UI is pretty clunky, and I feel like it should be a controller-centric game. We're just going to jump down here. It should be a controller-centric game, and I have tried to play with controller, and it is functional, but it's very clunky, and a lot of the menus, especially when you're like in town and whatnot, don't seem to Like, just some things don't work with a controller, so that's a little bit disappointing. So I'm playing with keyboard and mouse right now. Some things I do appreciate before we jump in here is when you got your weapon sheathed, you can sprint indefinitely, and that is just beautiful. I just want to get to a place quickly, you know? And I don't want to have to be penalized by having to stop every 5 seconds to recharge stamina if I just want to get a place. Now, when I pull my weapon out, now stamina starts to drain, and that is, I can totally accept that. You know, that's a beautiful little quality of life addition there, and there are things like that in here that feel very good. So just generally, we're sort of in this, you know, in my opinion, unfortunately quite generic sort of floating island sort of world that's becoming very popular these days. You know, but it serves a purpose, I suppose, and you've got, you know, varying biomes of forest and jungle or swampy and just plain sort of stuff, and that's where you come once you go the notice board and you want to fight one of these dudes. But let's go fight a dude here. This is... He's getting real loud. He's getting real upset about it. This is an ether port thingy here. Oh god, I just realized this was the worst idea ever because I haven't memorized this guy's abilities yet. Alright, so we've got to dodge on space. We can jump, but dodging seems to be the order of the day here. He's not letting me get in there. Oh god, okay. Oh, come on, dude. You do seem to get stuck into animations quite easily. Which, you know, that's probably par for the course here. But I have noticed that sometimes when I feel like I should be hitting, I don't. And I don't know. I feel like there might be a hitbox issue there. But for the most part, hacking and slashing away feels pretty good. You don't get like a lot of feedback when you're doing a lot. Oh shit! You don't get a lot of feedback when you do a lot of damage, which is unfortunate. I mean, oh god, this guy's a right savage. I'll tell you that right now. When you, on the rare occasion that you can actually whack the head, then yes, it's fine. And you do get a dank little like stagger or something, so you can do that. It just seems to be a bit difficult. So this guy's like only the second behemoth that you face. All right, let's see if we can get a combo in. Do it again. There we go. There we go. So that's gonna drain all my stamina. Throw in a dank special move there. So you got a bunch of different weapons. You got 4 weapons, I think. So you got the standard sword, which I've got right now. Oh god, he's coming at me. Okay, smooth. Don't worry about it. So you got the standard sword that I'm rocking right now. It's actually my favorite so far. You've got a hammer that also sort of allows you to fly, or like rocket jump essentially, which is pretty cool. You've got an axe that's sort of slow and heavy, and then you've got chain blades, which are like twin daggers. You're moving fast. Has a little bit of range on. That's it. It looks like there's one more weapon still to come. Here we go. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright, let's move it. Let's get some stamina back. Yeah, just smack his ass. Now, that doesn't seem to be as effective as going after the head, but the head's sometimes dangerous. And when we do enough damage, he'll probably run off. Okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. We can do another special attack now, too. If you see at the top of the screen there, there's sort of 5 blocks. So there, it looks like there's a 5th weapon that might be coming. I'm not sure what it is, though. I hope it's something more ranged, because that's pretty cool. So I've also got a lantern here that you can upgrade. And that is one of the best things about the game, I think, is just the upgradability of items and the variability of items. So you start off, your sort of training lantern is... It's just a monster locator, right? So that's handy early on, but it's really not that hard to find these guys. The little worlds aren't... Oh, there we go. He's had enough. He's had enough of his running, so now we're going to find him again. The little worlds of floating islands aren't that big that it's too difficult to find them. And just a quick side note, apologies if the game audio is too loud. I've actually dropped it like significantly, but... There you go. Alright, we'll sheath our weapons. He hasn't gone that far. He's not really that... that far to run. Now I'm gonna rush in here because I'm not sure if he's gonna heal here. That's one of the things I'm not too sure about. It looks like usually they head towards other ether vents or ether ports or whatever you want to call them. I assume they heal the behemoths because they certainly heal you. All right, what's going on? Is he bugged out or something? Yeah, so you start off with a lantern that just locates the behemoths for you, and I've upgraded mine to one that will actually heal you, which seems infinitely more valuable considering my tendency to get hit. Okay, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. So you do this by essentially the resources that you get from killing the monsters, or behemoths, you use to make armor, weapons, and items, which is my favorite thing about Monster Hunter. So I'm glad that that's the way things work here. But you haven't got that satisfying sort of carving mechanic like you do in Monster Hunter. It's just you kill it and it's done. It certainly feels more arcadey, less of an immersive world. I feel like Monster Hunter is in some ways not quite an exploration game, but you certainly feel immersed in the world, and there's persistency there in the world and figuring out the moves of the monsters. So there is totally an element of figuring out the moveset of the behemoths so that you can adequately fight them. But in that regard, it feels a little bit more like Dark Souls than it does Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter seems a little bit deeper and more about like, well, hey, if you use this item, you can get an edge on this guy. But game doesn't tell you that. You got to figure it out for yourself. There seems to be less of that, at least at this early stage. So I've only gotten to the point where I've taken out the first behemoth, who's basically a giant monster beaver. I've taken out this guy, who's a what is it? What? Owlbear? That's the right term, isn't it? And I'm on to two other tougher guys that the game has recommended that I don't take on yet because my equipment isn't hot enough. So, there's an element of grinding there for sure. And you can do that, and you can do it quickly. And that's one of the best things, in my opinion, about... There we go. I've just done it. There you go. How much time did I have left? Where's the indicator? Well, hey, I did it in 12 minutes. Plus 5 because I wasted some time before I hit record. So there you go. You've got 30 minutes to complete. There you go. We had 16 minutes and 38 seconds left to complete that. So plenty of time. And the first behemoth I consistently take out in like 5 minutes. So it's not even a problem. So that does this cool little screen of, like presumably when you're with others, and no, not presumably, I have seen this. When you're with others, it's like who did the most damage and this and that. That's kind of nice. I don't like that you can't skip this screen though, and it looks really clunky, and I don't want to harp too much on it, because it is early access, and I hope the UI is going to be polished up and just made to work a little bit better as the game approaches full release. But it looks like the UI looks like and feels like PS2 era bugged. Just like PS2 era, and on top of that, it's also bugged. So that's unfortunate. So, we're just going back to town here. And I gotta say, the loading times are pretty good, and I appreciate that. So in terms of like server lag, there are Australian servers, which is fantastic to see straight off the bat in closed beta. And they're pretty good. Sometimes you do get a stutter here and there, but nothing that's game breaking that's really disturbed me. But, we can have a look here, have a roam around here and just check out people's armor and weapons to get an idea of the kind of thing that you can make. We can actually, you start off with one of each weapon. They call it borrowed, so it's... Oh, hang on. Do I actually have I've actually got a dank sword that I didn't even equip. Dude, do we like go back in and have a red hot go of it? Alright, so these are the chain blades. Coming soon, there's something else. You got the axe. And the hammer. But let's go with a sword, especially because I got that upgraded sword. Okay. Let's do that. And there's, armor as well. I'm just going to run off to see if there's anything new I can craft. And this I appreciate a great deal. Well, there we go. There's a little bit of a stutter. But yeah, like I was saying before, I think the greatest strength of this game compared to Monster Hunter, because, you know, if Monster Hunter World wasn't releasing on PC next year or whenever it is, then you could say this game is golden because it's filling a market that Monster Hunter just cannot. I made my nose too big. It's weird. It breaks through when you're in town, but when you're out on a mission, it seems to be fine. And I am actually mixing and matching, doing something with armors here. So the head armor there is not from the set of the body armor. So yes, you can do that sort of thing. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, if Monster Hunter wasn't coming to PC, I'd say the biggest strength that Dauntless has is that it is Monster Hunter for PC, right? But unfortunately, Monster Hunter World is supposedly coming to PC, so you gotta say, like, well, what does this have over Monster Hunter World potentially? Well, it's a quicker experience. It feels more like a not a competitive game, but that sort of loop where it's just like, oh, well, I want to do a 15 to half an hour game and then I'm done. You can do that, and you can do it consistently, you know. And even in this closed beta state, I haven't had well, actually, I was going to say, yeah, sometimes you can't find people to play with. That's for sure. But certainly there's no issue going solo, as you just saw. You get into the game really quick, and I appreciate that. It might seem like a small thing, but I think... Good? The haircut, though. I think that's its edge, you know, and that's not a bad thing at all. So there you go. So we've got, because we've sort of gotten to a point, I'm not actually sure what unlocked it. Maybe it's the fact that we've got... you know, a certain amount of materials from the Gnasher. The Gnasher is the beaver that I mentioned, the first thing you fight. So we can make weapons and armor based on the Gnasher currently. You know, they're not. I don't mind the designs. They're certainly Monster Hunter-y in the sense that it's over the top and the weapons are big and whatnot. But, you know, a little more cartoony. I'll be honest, I don't like this sort of cartoony vibe. That's just personal preference, though. It's functional, you know. So whenever you defeat a behemoth, you get a core that it's basically like a loot crate, right? That unlocks some shit for you, just like crafting materials and whatnot. So on top of crafting armor weapons, you can also upgrade them. They've just got linear upgrade paths, as far as I can see at least. I'm not sure if they branch off it all later, but you know, you can just have a look here. So you craft it, and then that's it. You just upgrade, and it boosts their abilities and whatnot. So you've got like bonuses per armor. For example, the Scout coat increases max stamina by 15%, increases stamina regeneration, increases max stamina by an additional 20%. Why is that? Endurance aspect? I'll be honest, I don't fully understand that. Endurance? Stamina. So it looks like my stamina's just gone up. But why armor bonuses? Okay, so we need to trigger endurance? I'll be honest, I don't fully understand that. And it might be quest bound, because we do have some quests that we need to complete. You know, such as like bring back a certain ore type so you can craft a thing. And a lot of this stuff is like tutorial based, at least, or like tutorial centric. At least it is at this current stage of the game. Gather sap fruit, you know. Form a hunting party and set sail to hunt the Shrike, right? So I haven't actually joined a party to hunt the Shrike. And that seems to be just because I haven't got on a time where people are wanting to hunt the Shrike. It's just as simple as that. It's a little bit awkward. But hey, look, it's early access. So, you know, you need to forgive it some things. But I think there's certainly a solid game to be had here, and I appreciate it. You know, like I said, it's just something that I can say, oh, I want to do something action-y for the next, you know, 10 to 30 minutes, because yeah, depending who you take down, it can really take that little time. There's airships, which I appreciate as well. You know, I might just jump into a game here so I can show you that. We'll do like, oh, hunt the rogue Embermane. We can do that. We can do that. I'm gonna go solo though. So we've got, I guess we've gotten to a point where the game is like, all right, your equipment's good enough, so go hunt the Embermane. And it's as simple as that. So you can select multiple of those, but I think that only serves to broaden your I suppose, matchmaking situation for, you know, for doing multiple. So if you, sorry, for doing multiplayer. So if you select multiple, behemoth hunts there and click solo, it just does one of them, or I don't know what it does, if it randomizes or what, but it's not like you go to a place and you go to hunt two of them. That would be cool, I reckon, if you had to come to one of these islands and there was like both of the behemoths that you wanted to face there. But that's not how it works. I think it's just a matter of like, if you put in the Shrike and the Nasher, it's like, well, whichever and then select multiplayer, it's like, well, whichever multiplayer group comes first is how that goes. That was a butchering of an explanation, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. You can also customize a flag there, which is kind of cool. That's it. That's your little flag. So let's have a look at the Ember Main, because I haven't actually seen it before. I'll grab there's also, you can run through these, and what does it give you? Ether wisps. I assume it's a crafting item. I'm not exactly sure specifically what it pertains to, but hey, we need, what was it, iridium ore or something like that, you know, to complete that quest for the lantern? I don't know. I don't rightly know. But while we're here, we may as well just, can we get to the edge of the world and just like have a peek over? That'd be hot. That'd be hot. I'm hearing sounds. I'm hearing like a squealing there. There doesn't seem to be fall damage, which I think I appreciate. There you go. You do a little bit of a roll. You do drain some stamina as you roll. I've come to like the worlds. You know, they're diverse enough, I think. I don't know if they're randomized. I wouldn't be surprised if they were. But it's kind of nice. It's pretty. It is pretty, and it's sort of like Fortnite-esque graphic style sort of thing. Would you call that cartoony? I suppose, but it's a very specific sort of graphic style, isn't it? It's pretty enough. I'm currently running it at medium settings, and it's running well enough for me. At high or ultra, it does sort of chug a little bit, and I don't think it looks much better when you pump it up. There you go, just sort of down. It's a nice skybox sort of situation. Alright, so let's go find the Ember Main. Let's go do what needs to be done. I'm looking forward to trying out my new sword. It's going to be dank. It's going to be dank. This is something, you know, that I think I'd certainly play more of, like I was saying. Just, oh, there it is. There it is. You just jump in, do what you got to do. Will it... when Monster Hunter comes out, in its current state, no, Monster Hunter's taken full priority for me. Assuming it's good, because I don't want to fall into the trap of being like, you know, oh, well, I've enjoyed a lot of the other Monster Hunters, so Monster Hunter Worlds are going to be fantastic. I don't want to fall into the trap of assuming something's going to be good. But assuming it's the sort of experience I want from Monster Hunter, no. It's, you know, it's similar enough to me that I'll only go for, well, fuck. I've never seen this guy before, so I don't know what his patterns are like. Shit, he looks like a charger. It's similar enough that I'm only going to want to prioritize one, I think. But it's different enough, I think, to justify its existence. It's not, I wouldn't call it a clone, and I appreciate that it exists, because I feel like it's a genre. It's a genre of game that is neglected, and I think it's a really cool genre. You know, it's sort of RPG-esque, but without stats. You know, the RPG elements are in, and customization is in the crafting of equipment. All right, so he's fast, but it looks like, oh god, run. He's fast, but he looks like he gets tired easily. Okay. Get over here, dude. So sometimes they have the behemoths have different states as well. I don't have any complaints regarding the movesets of the behemoths. They seem varied enough for my taste. And, you know, the high level ones do actually have like an angered state or something, where they get, they get real mad, dude, and more erratic, and they're just harder to hit. Alright, I'm going to jump back here and pop a potion. So there are items, but nowhere near the degree of, you know, Monster Hunter. At least in its current state, and at this sort of point in the game. I played about, what, like 3-4 hours of it, maybe? I don't know. Probably less. Probably less. Alright. Oh, okay, let's get in there. Ah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm the greatest slayer. I wonder why. Can I take this guy out first shot? I've never actually... I'll tell you one thing. I've never actually been killed by a behemoth. I don't think. Oh, actually, no. Once. Once I have. But it's not... I don't know. It's... I like the combat. It's not easy. But it's not... It feels like the sort of thing that's like... Maybe you'd explain it by calling it... By saying... Easy to learn, hard to master. Because it doesn't feel... It doesn't feel easy... But there's certainly a challenge. You know, it's pretty easy to dodge out of the way of things. If you're underprepared, the fights do take a while. And I appreciate there's a bit of customization in your items, in the sense that, you know, I've upgraded my lantern to I laugh because it sounded like I said my lantern for a second. I've upgraded my lantern to give me some health regen. To suit my playstyle here, you know. It'd be good if there were more weapon types, but that might be something that will come later on, because it is early access. So, look, I can heal myself here from these little Aether Forges or whatever they're called. Let's sheath our weapon here so we can get there quick. We'll follow this guy. So this is the first guy that's actually run away on the ground for me. The Gnasher, the beaver guy, who you haven't seen in this video. Tunnels underground, is a real prick about it. The owlbird, the shrike, will fly off. This guy actually runs. Seems like he might be a little bit easier to... Oh, fuck. Oh, okay. Okay. Luckily, there's no fall damage. Where's he gone? Is he coming after me? Now, what would be cool, I think, is if there were, like, some environmental hazards that you could take advantage of. Because currently it just feels like just a little bit of it's just an open space for you to fight these things. And it'd be cool if you could use the environment somehow. Like if you could entice the thing to run off the edge of the island and you'd win, but in that case you wouldn't get any of the materials from taking it down, because of course they'd be lost. There we go. Just wrap on that flank, baby. I appreciate that he doesn't seem to stomp or anything or whip me with his tail. At least not yet. His dangerous end is the front. Okay. Let's run up here and... Come on. Yeah. Probably should have whacked his head. That seems to be the way to go. Currently it seems everyone's vulnerable spot is the head, as opposed to maybe lopping off the tail or something like that. Come on, dude. Let's get in there. I need more stamina. Alright, I'm gonna pop my my lantern here. Oh god, that was the worst. Hubris and my pride is what did it. Come on, is that gonna count as smacking up the head? Maybe not. Hey, how you doing? Just hit him with some real big attacks here. So you do have a like a quick attack and a heavy attack. You can chain them together for combos. It shows all the combos there when you hit tab on mouse and keyboard, at least. I think it's select for controller. But yeah, that's sort of it. There's nothing more to say about the game, and that's all right. You know, it's not overly complex, and there's certainly room for it. Now, see, as I was saying before, when I'm like in a world where both Monster Hunter and this exist on PC, you know, I'm picking Monster Hunter every time. That's just me. You know, it's quite possible that there are people out there who are like, look, I like Monster Hunter, but maybe it's too hard for me. And that's okay, or maybe it's just, you know, oh, did I lop off a thing? Hey, that's cool. Alright, respect. That's pretty dank. I appreciate that. I just lopped. Doesn't look like you can pick anything up there, but that's pretty cool. I like that very much. But yeah, look. It's certainly possible that there are those of you out there. In fact, let me know in the comments below. Are you the kind of person who maybe wants to get into Monster Hunter, but hasn't been able to, hasn't grabbed them, or maybe it's too difficult, or I don't know. It's you know, I don't mean that negatively, like get good, scrub. Like, there's nothing wrong with like not being into a more hardcore experience, because in some ways Monster Hunter is very brutal. I think it's harder than Dark Souls, which may surprise some people, but perhaps not. And you know, there's the casual's become a dirty word. Doesn't have to be. If there's, there we go. Hey, we did it. That actually wasn't too difficult. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Hey, I like it. All right. So yeah, maybe there is. Maybe there's totally a market for it only took us 11 minutes. I'm like the greatest. I'm the greatest ever. Maybe there's a market for a less hardcore Monster Hunter, and that's pretty cool. Let me know in the comments down below. Hey, what do you think of Dauntless? What do you think? It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'll be playing more of it. Thank you for watching, guys. Taste the game. Be excellent to each other. And I'll see you next time. My neck just cracked. I don't know if you heard that. I hope you did, because that would have been just beautiful. Roleplay Gamer out.